Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today for another Twilight Zone video in my Twilight Zone ranking series where I rank every episode of the original Twilight Zone from my least favorite to my favorite. Today I'm going to be talking about number 42, People Are Alike All Over, written by Rod Serling based on a story by Paul Fairman. This episode was directed by Mitchell Leisen. This is a season 1 episode, and as always there will be spoilers. So People Are Alike All Over is yet another season 1 classic in my opinion. I really like this episode a lot. I will say while I think a few parts in the middle of the episode are a bit deliberate, I think this episode has one of the greatest and most memorable endings in all of Twilight Zone. Roddy McDowall is good in the lead as Conrad, and the rest of the cast are fine in support. So this episode starts with two astronauts named Conrad and Marcuson, and they're discussing their upcoming flight into space. Marcuson is a very optimistic person, and he tells Conrad not to worry because, basically people are alike all over, but Marcuson is much more skeptical of the unknown. So the two astronauts eventually make it to Mars, but they have a rough landing, injuring Marcuson badly. Marcuson seems to know he's probably a goner, so he wants to look outside just for a minute to find out what they've discovered, but Conrad is really afraid and he refuses to open the doors, and eventually Marcuson does pass away. So now Conrad is alone on the ship and he starts hearing something just outside. He's still pretty nervous, but eventually he opens the door and he finds aliens, but they surprisingly look just like people and seem to be friendly enough, especially Tina, a female alien, and one of the better looking aliens I've seen, I have to say. So Conrad is taken to his new home, which looks surprisingly just like an Earth home. Seems pretty nice, and Conrad also seems to like Tina, but she seems upset about something, and as an audience we're probably starting to feel that something about this whole situation is just not right. So Conrad is starting to feel better about things when he realizes there are no windows on his home and that the doors won't open. And all I have to say is this whole scene is pretty disturbing, but things get more disturbing because suddenly one of the walls slides open and it turns out that Conrad is behind bars in a type of human zoo. There's even a sign that says like Earth Creature on it. And now Conrad knows that Marcuson was right and that people are definitely alike all over. And this is easily one of the greatest twists in all of Twilight Zone, in my opinion. Now, I do think this episode starts amazing. I really like the conversation between the two astronauts and how it sets up the end of the episode. And I obviously loved the ending. But I did think the middle of this episode was slightly slow. I thought maybe we could have seen a little bit more of the alien world and spent a little less time in the ship. But I guess I get that they wanted to build up Conrad's fear, and it doesn't ruin the episode. So it's fine. It's just a nitpick more than anything else. However, the great build up to the ending and the twist itself more than make up for anything else in this episode. The ending is one of the most disturbing and most memorable in all of Twilight Zone, in my opinion. And I also love how the title People Are Alike All Over is used in the episode. So overall, this episode People Are Alike All Over is another classic, and that's why it comes in for me at number 42 on the list. As always, feel free to let me know what you thought of this episode, if you liked it or not. Thanks for your support, and thanks for watching.